It is truly shocking to find out that, as it all boils down, men are screwed. The coronavirus, as far as its results, but not in its infections, kills more men than it does women. In contrast, actually it's true, according to the statistics, the latest statistics that are being discussed right now, that more women are actually contracting coronavirus. Now, to me, I think that's fairly easy to understand from a logical standpoint. I think overall, you're going to have frontline more women than men. More nurses are female, more care workers are female. So I think personally that it's merely the way that society is structured at the present time that just causes people to be more open and able to be infected because of the fact that they are women and what job positions they hold. However, according to the statistics, because of the extra X chromosome, as I understand it, then it allows women to be more resistant and men to be more fragile. So men are likely then to actually be affected more strongly by the disease and then succumb to the disease. And it appears truly not to matter that it just continues to be an effect that does not stop throughout any of the different various populations. They're doing these kind of studies worldwide on what's happening, where are things going, how did things happen. In fact, I'll get to a side history in just a moment, but the fact is that from the standpoint of men, and a great caution needs to be put up in that apparently because of these statistics, it's come down to a lot of apparently male shaming, saying men are more dirty, this kind of stuff. And no matter how true that may be, being dirty is not the issue. The issue is whether or not you can contract the virus, how much you were exposed to it, and how much you're able to fight it off. And just from a genetic standpoint, men are at a disadvantage. Women have an advantage. Now, one of the facts now that they are finding is that actually in the United States, there were 2 corona deaths in California in January, a fact that again starts to put things into an entirely different light. My own mother died at the end of January. My mother died having some severe respiratory problems. Now, she had respiratory problems for a large portion of her life. But you begin to wonder, and again, I think understandably, well then, because she did have these kind of problems throughout her life, well, then what became the tip that she could no longer sustain life? Was it because of the coronavirus? Who knows? I certainly don't. As far as I know, she's not being. There's no autopsy being conducted in order to determine if there was any coronavirus. And so that question is certainly not one to be answered. However, and it may only be extremely remote, because certainly my mother had been in Florida. So that in and of itself says that she was way far away from the actual deaths that occurred in January. But all of these facts are beginning to show different things about the coronavirus than was first anticipated. And certainly it also shows that it was very important for things to have started to happen in January. And from there, I'm sure that we'll find out in the coming days more and more how things could have been done differently, which I hope then will lead to some way in order to look at this in the future. Because what's being looked at and considered and is extremely concerning is that there will be second and third rounds of this virus. This is not a one-shot virus. You build up an immunity and that's it. And scientists are saying they don't think that there will be a vaccine in a time before there comes further rounds of the virus. All very concerning. Very concerning as well that they anticipate that further rounds could in fact be much more deadly. So opening up your state, your province, your city, very, 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 very shaky grounds for doing so. The government needs to step up, make people stay home, and if they have to, just go into debt, pay the money out in order to keep people surviving. Trust that you're staying well and doing your part in order to keep from being exposed to this virus. Take care.